In PPR Fantasy Football, should you pick yards or receptions? Imagine you're building your dream team and trying to figure out what really matters in scoring. Do you focus on players who rack up yards or those who catch a lot of passes? Well, in PPR leagues, the answer is pretty clear when you understand how scoring works. In these leagues, each catch a player makes earns them 1 extra point, on top of the usual points for yards and touchdowns. So, if a receiver catches 8 passes, they get 8 points just from receptions alone. This makes players who catch many short passes more valuable, even if they don't gain a ton of yards. Let's break down the basics. In PPR leagues, players earn 1 point for every reception. They also get points for every 10 yards gained, usually 1 point per 10 yards, and 6 points for each touchdown. This setup rewards players who are targeted often and catch a lot of passes. A player with many receptions can outscore a player with more yards but fewer catches. Think about players who are targeted heavily in their team's passing game. Wide receivers who run quick, short routes, pass-catching running backs, and tight ends who are involved in the short to intermediate passing game tend to get more receptions. These players tend to be more consistent week to week in PPR leagues because their points come from their high reception count. When you're drafting or setting your lineup, it's smart to prioritize players known for catching passes. A running back who catches many passes out of the backfield can be more valuable than a rusher who gains lots of yards but catches fewer passes. This is especially true early in drafts when you're trying to find players who will give you steady points. Yards are still important, but they're more variable. A player with a big game of 80 yards and 3 catches scores fewer points than someone with 8 catches for 40 yards because of the extra reception points. So, in PPR leagues, receptions tend to be more predictable and consistent. Half point per reception leagues, called half PPR, give a little less weight to receptions but still value them. Even in these formats, catching passes is more beneficial than just gaining yards. Wide receivers usually benefit the most from PPR scoring because they catch the most passes. Pass-catching running backs and tight ends also see their value rise, especially those who are reliable targets for their quarterbacks. In the end, if you want to maximize your points in PPR leagues, focusing on players who catch a lot of passes is a smart move. Receptions add a steady stream of points that can make a big difference over the course of a season. While yards and touchdowns still matter, players with high reception totals often provide the most consistent scoring.